Spread him back, winger. You're on 2, well done, Carl.
Definitely a good fish.
Gonna bring you to your knees.
Can you see these head kicks?
That's the problem with Warren Carty. So I put 5 rods out before him and he still caught 2 fish.
I'm not a soft plastics fisherman. If I can come out and do this, virtually on my first ever soft plastics trip and pull full of bait and snapper, anyone can do it. And we're talking about a quality fish here. I've got one on a plastic, Warren's got a big snapper on, and the birthday boy is hooked up too. This is what it's all about.
Now the Becky's out doing me. That's not a bad fish, mate. I'm happy with that.
Oh.
How good's that?
You reckon you're happy with that, do you?
Well, what's the thought?
You reckon you might be happy with that one? I think just about everyone in the bay would be happy with that fish, including myself.
Look at that. Beautiful.
Beast of a snapper. That's what we live for.
Oh my God. Winger. Oh, Winger.
Oh my God.
You've done it.
20-pound snapper.
You've done it.
Big enough for you, was it?
That is big, mate. I'll tell you what, that is going to go 20 pound, mate.
One in. 2 in.
Come on, little fella.
Now this net holds 60 kilos, we're going to find out.
Test it out. There we go, eh?
Oh, Winger. Luck or what, I don't know, mate. I think it really is a case of fresh bait.
Have a look at that.
That is awesome.
Top weight in the first and the second leg.
The second snapper I've caught on soft plastics,
And 10 kilo, mate?
and it's 10 kilo. It's got to be. I mean, you know, everything's 10 kilo.
But we're getting closer and closer to that benchmark.
Oh, we gave a kiss to do that. Have a look at that. Oh. Salty Dog Films brings you Big Red, Melbourne style. And that is what it's all about. That is one big fish. Have a look at it.
Well, you said we were going to do it today, didn't you?
I did.
You did
I said
everything
we'll either
right.
hit or we'll miss. Have a look at that. Yes. Yes.
You little
Yes. Let's go, Big Daddy. Let's go. Oh, look at that. He swam away. I think so. Yes.
And another squidgy bites the dust.
I don't care. That's awesome. Snapper, one of the most iconic fish species in Australia today. Depending on where they are found, they will be known as either squire, pink snapper, schoolies, knobbies, or big red. But no matter what they are called, they are always highly prized by the anglers that pursue them. This is for good reason. their fighting prowess and table qualities are truly first class. But more so, the pursuit of the elusive big one, a dream for many, has the ability to take you on a lifelong, soul-searching journey. They are typically an inshore species and often inhabit estuaries, bays and gulfs during the warmer months of the year. This puts them within easy reach of the majority of the saltwater fishing population, and as a result have also become the most sought after species in the southern half of Australia. So much so that in many places down under they cause mass hysteria when the word gets out that they have arrived. Some people call this fishing pandemonium snapper fever, and the only known cure is to get out on the water and get a fix of adrenaline courtesy of some bent rods and screaming reels. Snapper are distributed from southeast Queensland right around the rugged southern coastline of Australia up to northwest Western Australia and can be caught in water over 100 metres deep. However, they are best targeted in water less than 40 metres deep. One of the most prolific places to target them anywhere in Australia is Port Phillip Bay, Melbourne. Port Phillip is approximately 50 kilometres wide and 70 kilometres long, and by and large a place of very little tidal flow, except for the channels of its lower reaches. The bottom is generally featureless sand and light reef, and many parts of its perimeter are fringed with a light covering of seagrass. Although its open fetch can get rough in strong wind, it is a relatively calm, shallow port that is fully sheltered from the open sea and its swell. The surge of snapper from Bass Strait into this pristine waterway every spring is truly incredible. The schools that flow in during this time are simply huge and come to feed up and then spawn. The fish within those schools can range from very small to very, very large. However, the vast majority of the fish range 2 to 5 kilos, and this makes it a classic school fish fishery. This annual migration starts every year when a few reds start to trickle through the heads in early September, where they seem to run in and up the three main tidal channels that feed into the main part of the bay. From here, they spread out and around the perimeter of the bay, collectively feeding at irregular intervals with medium aggression. However, by mid-October, the influx of fish is fast and furious, and the schools quickly make their way to every region of the port, where their feeding becomes noticeably more aggressive and more frequent. This pre-spawning behaviour, which lasts until about Christmas, is the time you're most likely to hook and catch numbers of Port Phillip snapper. So this is where we will start our journey and look at the basics of snapper fishing. In this first chapter, we will show you what you need to know to find, hook and land these beautiful fish in shallow water where there is very little tidal flow.
Hey, there we go, Matty.
G'day, Mr. Carter. Long time no see.
Yeah, where you been?
Oh, mate, stuck on the water every
Stuck on
day.
the water.
Missing you.
Yeah?
Missing you, mate. I tell you, it was good having you around for the last couple of years.
Oh, well, it's good to be back together again and let's
Yeah.
go out and make it happen.
Yeah, well, we've done that a fair bit, so I think we're going to do some damage. He hasn't been around for a little while, and I'm really, really keen to go and wet a line with you, mate.
It's time to fish.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Cheers.
Matt, you'd reckon all 10 rods to take off, wouldn't you?
Yeah, but it doesn't always work like that.
No.
That could even be bait, just the way it's, yeah, you just don't know. It's a bit rough to sound properly.
Just give it a set and see what happens. You know, this is the biggest secret to snapper fishing. The cubes. Not surface burley, the cubes.
Little blue nuggets.
Turning into big red nuggets.
That's it, mate, that's it.
So what we've done is we've diced up about 8 pilchards. We're now just going to throw this out. We want to do a nice spread so those cubes go everywhere. So what will happen now is we'll now put our baits down into that, and as these cubes hit the bottom, so will our baits. And this will draw any snapper that's in with, say, 50 metres to our boat.
Very important. Works well. Well, in the old days, we used to go and buy the silver whiting from the markets, but you couldn't get anything good from the shops or the bait shops. They didn't have any good quality bait. These days, the bait suppliers have lifted their game.
Certainly have.
Yeah, and the quality of the silver whiting is basically just as good as what you get from the market, if not better. Probably because when they get it off the boat, it's snap frozen in their big freezers, in the proper freezers, not in the freezers like you have at home that take days to freeze in bulk amounts. So, yeah, I'm definitely happy with that. Saves me a trip to the market. Getting them out. Basically, when we cast the rods out, we cast them out probably about 30 metres or so, 25, 30 metres. And that's basically just to get the bait away from the boat and just let it drift down to the bottom. You don't want to, we're not using big sinkers.
Yeah,
using
small sinkers.
Tiny little sinkers.
Just before you go, Matt, notice how we run our sinker right down onto the hook. The idea of that is, if you actually have your sinker above the swivel, the sinker will slide down the line and your lines won't lay well. So therefore you'll get a lot of tangles, and a lot of, when you start hooking your fish up, they'll start going around the other lines.
And not only that too, you cast a lot further because it doesn't come back on the stops at the swivel. So yeah, nice light sinker. The bait, you don't want the bait to go straight down to the bottom like in Western Port. Port Phillip Bay doesn't have a lot of tide. Off the northern end of Port Phillip Bay, that is.
Slower the better.
Slower the better. And you're catching fish that are ranging from a metre off the top right down to the bottom. Now a lot of people say to me, why don't you use a big sinker? Well, that's probably the biggest mistake that people make, is that they try to get their bait down too quick and they miss all the fish.
That's right.
I mean, how many times have we been out? You put the rod out, you put it in the rod holder, and it's gone, just like that. That wouldn't have been more than 2 metres under the surface. Yeah. Just straight away. Yeah. So.
The idea is to have that bait just to fall naturally. You know, it's all got to look natural. Okay, we've just laid out our cubes. I reckon if there's any fish here, 2 minutes and we'll have a rod going.
Yeah, you're probably right, Carter. This spot here is just a big flat bit of steel, bit of reef, flat, and it's very, very old. If the fish are going to eat here, we want them to eat straight away, because if they're not, they may not eat for hours, because they seem to use this reef, I think, for spawning. I don't know, but I'm pretty confident that they do, because every time I sound over it, there's big fish there, and they're quite often not feeding. So
that could have a lot to do with the barometer and everything like that too.
Yeah, possibly. But even on good days, you know, they just, so I don't know. I mean, it's just got me a bit today with those fish we caught, with the eggs really hanging out of them. Yeah. So actually, I haven't seen that a lot. Today's one of the first days I've actually seen the females with the eggs. The males, obviously, I see, but yeah. Have you seen that a lot, Carter?
No, I haven't. I haven't seen the eggs, mate. No. The only time I've seen that was actually chasing bream up on the Gold Coast.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, they could actually see the eggs going through the water, and if someone told you, they'd go, oh, yeah, right.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
But until you see it yourself, you don't believe it, you know?
I'll tell you what, mate, it's good to be fishing with you again, seriously.
No,
I'm really excited. It's been, since the 5th of October, I've been out twice a day, every day. Yeah. The first social trip I've done in a long time was last night with my 2 little boys, and
Yeah.
they got a couple of fish. And this is
Well, mate, it's probably my leanest year. I've done about 4 trips with Winger, and we fished tea tree together and nailed that 10.4 kilo fish.
that was a beautiful fish,
Cracker,
absolute ripper.
I was standing on the camera and I'm going, nah, that can't be real.
Oh.
It's coming up.
Mate, I just think when you get a fish over 10 like that, the memory stays with you forever.
Yeah.
Like it's been since 2001 since I caught a fish over 10,
Yeah.
and that memory just stays with me forever.
Yeah.
That day, the whole day, from the start to the finish, I remember it.
Yeah.
You know?
But no, full credit to Winger, he actually let the fish go, you know.
That's it, yeah. Exactly.
You know, and mate, if it was me, I probably would have kept the fish. But
I
Winger's
would've-
got bigger ideas, and mate, to see the fish swim for someone else to catch another day is fantastic.
I think you've just got to see it. You've just got to, like, you've seen them swim off now,
Yeah.
that big.
Yeah.
So now you probably think, I may do that with the next one. But it is hard to let
Very
a 10 kilo
hard.
fish go.
Very hard.
I've got a lot of wall space at home. There's only one lonely fish on there.
It's called thinking big.
Exactly. Think of it. That's right. Oh. It's been 2 minutes yet. Yeah, come on. Oh, have we done him? I think.
Ah, he's still there, mate.
No. Yeah, he is too.
Still there.
Oh, well, there you go.
But haven't even got all the rods in the water yet.
First cast, as Warren said before, you only need 1 set of rods, and that was about not even 30 seconds, Carter.
How many rods? You got 5 rods, I've only got 3. That's only because I had to burley.
Yeah, but you've had no practice.
So I'm out of tune.
I'll tell you what, when you get these snapper on here, it's no hard work. You just let him go, let him take the drag. You got the drag set. Wind down, lift up. Very, very simple. Don't wind when the fish is pulling. This is a good fish. It's probably 2.5 kilo. I feel guilty bringing a fish in. Haven't done it for so long. Carter, up the top. The fish are up the top. That was very high up. Very high up.
Drop that back, see if he goes again.
So there you go. That was on silver whiting too, Carter.
Yeah, what time was that hit there?
Yep. This is what we enjoy in Melbourne from October to December. Look at that, beautiful fish. Well hooked, I'm not even going to net him. Oh, actually, he's not well hooked.
Lift him
Bring
in.
him in, you'll lift him up.
Nah, he's alright, he's well hooked actually. Straight in, look at that, look at the colours on that fish. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful fish. There you go, first cast, we had 2 rods buckle over. That's a genuine 2 kilo Port Phillip Bay Red. And hopefully we can try and get you some bigger fellas, eh Carter? We want some bigger ones, mate, don't we?
What are those 4 kilo and 5 kilo fish that we've been getting the last couple of weeks?
Look at that, look at the colours. Look at the purple in the eye. He's back
There you
again,
go,
Carter.
back again.
He's back again. The rod's
Yeah,
at
just
work.
drop that.
He's on now. Must have been those sharp Gamakatsu hooks you're using, mate. They're working well now. Another one.
Another rod go.
Another one.
What we do is, we've got him hooked up.
I'll bring it in for you, mate. Yep. Hook him up. You see, Carter, that's the problem with Warren
So what
Carter.
we do is, if we get another hook up, we just put the rod back in the holder and just leave him hanging there.
That's the problem with Warren Carter. See, I put 5 rods out before him, and he still caught 2 fish before me. He's a cheeky bugger. You'll never beat this guy, no matter what you do.
Unless you're fishing with him at tea tree.
I'll tell you
I
what.
fished this one actually.
I tell you what, mate. I'm not going to tell you. I actually saved this for you, mate.
Did you?
I've done 2 charters today, and what did I just say to Winger before he turned the camera on? I haven't fished this spot for a little while.
You did, mate. Yeah. Done well. When you're fishing at least 10 rods here, when the fish go, the rods are in gear. With the rods in gear, we can get more hookups.
And the good thing is, when we're fishing like this with what we call strike drag, we have the hook snooted. Now, Warren Carter actually showed me how to do this a couple of years ago. It is dynamite. You've probably seen it on all their DVDs. It's very, very effective. Now, when you're fishing in strike drag, you've got 2 moving hooks. They both penetrate at once.
Colour.
Well hooked.
I'm not even going to worry about a net. If he falls off, he falls off. There we go. Just hooked in the mouth. Magnificent
Nice,
table
real.
fish.
Well done, Carter.
Right, we're going to get a feed.
Was that a triple? Was that 3 fish or 2? And another one? There's another one? Hey, hang on. Hang on a minute, Carter. Is it, am I allowed to actually catch a fish or not?
You can have this one
No,
if you
I'm
want.
only joking you, mate.
Tell you what, we need to get some more, while the fish are going.
Yeah, I'll get the baits
It's
out.
good to get more cubes in and
Exactly.
keep the baits going.
Exactly.
'Cause
These fish will go for a little while yet. Another one? Yeah. No worries. I'll cut some cubes up. What do you
cut
want?
some cubes up, I'll just go around and hook them up.
Yeah, no worries. Tell you what, we wanted some rods buckling. Where you getting it?
Yeah, that's what the pork foot play's all about.
I need some more bait out of the esky.
Yeah.
It's alright, I'll grab it. Now my uncle's coming over.
I think I got that other fish.
Yeah, you did, mate. Doesn't matter. It isn't actually a good thing to drop fish, but it can't be helped. Hooks weren't made to be a guaranteed hookup, although the Gamakatsu hooks are really good.
Mate, they're very good.
They're very good. And when you do drop a fish next to the boat, it does scare the school away.
Yeah, it does.
It does, and but there's a lot of fish here, Carter, so I don't think it'll be a problem. Well, do you use circle hooks, mate?
I don't actually. I just like the suicide pattern.
Yep.
Because it is suicide when you're fishing gear.
It is suicide. The only time I found that the circle hooks are really, really good
When you release it.
is when you've got your bag, you must use circle hooks. I do tell a lot of people to do that. It is suicidal to use suicide hooks once you've got your bag because they just won't survive. It's a lovely fish, Carter.
Might never get to that one.
Nah, you should be right. That is as red as you're going to get. I'll leave that with you, mate. I'm going to catch some fish.
That's our red nuggets we were talking about. The blue nuggets turning into red nuggets.
Oh, good fish. Oh, good fish. I tell you what, this is what I came for, mate. Come and enjoy time with people who you've worked with and who you don't get to see very often. This is what I actually prayed for. Let's get him on the fish. And we're having a ball, Carter, aren't we, mate?
We are, mate. This is what it's all about. Time together.
Look at that. That is just as good as it gets. This fish here didn't even take the line. He just sat on it. Goes to show how many fish is there. Rod tips in the water all the time. I can't get it up. Don't be scared to use your arm. The fish at the moment is basically on the other side of the boat. So don't be scared to extend the rod down so you don't hit the line on the bottom of the boat. This is an aluminium boat and it's very, very sharp underneath. Oh, jeez.
It's a good fish,
Great
man.
fish, great fish. Just take your time. Get them in too quick, it's all over with and you're home. You're only allowed 3 fish over 50 per person.
While Matt's fighting that fish, it always pays to keep the fish there. We keep putting more cubes out. Even if you've got no baits on the rods,
There's another rod
just
going.
get some more
There's
cubes.
another rod going.
Yeah, I'll get that in a minute, mate. Just get these cubes in the water. That's more important. Keep these fish going.
Here we go, we got colour. Good fish. So we're probably gonna end up releasing a lot of these fish. Obviously not this one. See him spitting his milk. Spitting his milk. Look at that. That is how we love it. That is just pristine, silver, red. I'm in my element. I love it.
We're gonna have to go. Okay.
Hey Carter, are you awake?
Oh, sorry, mate. I was snoozing there.
Yeah. You're on?
We're on.
I'll tell you what, those nuggets.
Beautiful.
Rod going. Oh, got him. Yep, I'm on. Oh,
It's alright, mate. I'll just keep
you sort that for me, mate. Oh, good fish again. Oh, good fish, great. I'll tell you what, I'm loving this. Absolutely loving it.
Not very often you ever get to have a fish either.
No, it isn't. I haven't cooked. Sorry, Carter.
Right, I'm just going to get
far
the
out.
rod. There you go.
What's he doing? Tell you what, when you start catching fish in Port Phillip Bay, if there's boats around, just put the rods back in the rod holder. Because obviously I didn't, and I've got about 3 boats just anchored on top of me. Now, rule of thumb, it's 50 metres. This is actually a good fish. 50 metres. Now, that guy over there is anchored probably about 30 metres away. I've done it all before. I've anchored next to mates, and I've anchored right on top of them. I've stuffed up their day and my own day. The best thing to do is to anchor about 100 metres away in the same line, get your own fish, and you'll both still catch fish. Little secret, but if the tide's running in, that's a great fish. Look at that. That's a 4.5.
Good fish, mate.
This is what we used to do with the kingfish. We don't even use nets. Look at that. Beautiful.
That is too good.
What do you reckon? It'd be,
You'll go 4.5.
it'd be
easy.
4.5, Carter.
Yep.
What dreams are made of. Tell you what, that guy behind the camera there once caught a 30 kilo gummy with me. Guess who he is? Tell you what, I might do the right thing by this fella.
Put it in the box.
Alright. Oh, sorry. It's actually not bad.
Got the fish on your side there, Natty.
Yeah, well, the reef is about 13 metres, 90 degrees. Where's Karam? Port Phillip Bay snapper, Melbourne style. This is something that I'm very good at. Something that Warren and Brendan are very good at is catching fish that are about 400 years old. With really big heads.
You know, mate, we probably catch snapper like other people catch flathead.
Yeah, you're
I'm
probably
not
right. No, you're
Trying to
right.
take the mickey out of people, but
Well-
really, snapper fishing in Port Phillip Bay is really easy.
Yeah. Well, mate, I've actually got, I've probably, this is another good fish. I've probably gotten a bit lazy this year. Like, I mean, you know, the years that me and you used to run the charters together, I'd come out and anchor and run a set of rods and get nothing, and I'd get a phone call from you 2 seconds later. I'm on the fish, come over. And
Just to enjoy that.
oh, and you know, and then the week later I'd do the same to you, and it's just awesome. These are really colourful fish. Look at that. Imagine if we had paying customers on today, mate, they'd be
Oh.
wrapped.
Over the moon.
That's it. I mean, that's not what you do. Have a look at that hook up there. Just with that snooted hook rig, the Gamakatsu hook straight through the lip. That is the perfect hookup. Now if you're going to release fish, that's an ideal fish to release. Perfect. That's gone. That is a nice load. There you go.
There we go, there's another one.
Yeah, but he doesn't understand it. We want to catch 5 fish at a time.
It's amazing. As we're fighting a fish, we're actually scanning and looking for more rods to go.
Yep, another rod.
No, it might be this one here. Pick up this line.
Oh yeah. Nah, that's
No,
a fish.
it's a fish.
That's a fish. Yep. Oh, that's another fish. Yep. Well, this is actually really your fish, so you are actually catching me now. I gotta get used to using these upside down rods and reels.
Mate, I love overheads.
Yeah.
It's a real pleasure to fight. And the thing is, don't get line twists.
Yeah.
But if you know how to use the thread line, you shouldn't get line twists anyway.
I just want to explain to people too. We come across this this area here. We marked up 2 little ticks, and Carter said, "Let's anchor on that." And funny enough, there was a little bit of structure close by, so we thought we'll go and have a little try on that. But what we did is we actually anchored off it a bit far away off it, closer to those 2 ticks. Nice fish, Carter.
Straight up.
And we're actually getting bigger fish. You tend to get a lot of small fish on structure, so if you anchor off it, you're going to get quality fish like that. Look at the colours, aren't they really red?
Mate, I love the blue dots,
Yeah.
the purple eyebrow.
That's fantastic. I tell you what, you're a lucky man, mate. You've been out about twice this year, and the both times you've been out, you've caned them. Absolutely caned them. I'd love to have your job.
You call that luck?
Oh no.
It's more about timing, when to go,
Exactly.
and you really want to hit the water when that southwesterly hits.
Oh, I've got my uncle's line.
That amazes you.
Hang on, let me get his line. And... Freddie, is that yours? It's just me. That's what happens when you anchor too close to someone. My uncle, I gotta love him. He drives me mad. Look at that, that's a real dirty fish. Have a look at him. Really dirty. Look at that. Nice male, beautiful. Put it in, Carter.
Just make them go in.
Yeah. These fish are very high up, mate. Very high up.
Oh, you just cast that right too. That's why I like using very small sinkers. Just allows that bait to go down nice and slow.
Get the run.
He's come in at the last leg here. He's beaten me by a nose now if he gets this fish. Not very happy. I'm not happy, I can tell you.
Yeah, right.
Tell you what, a lot of these littler fish have been going really hard at the start. You think they're really good fish, and they're just 2 and 3 kilo fish. Watch the man at work.
Little pinky. Tell you what, we're very close to our bag. I'm going to let this one go. What do you reckon, Matt?
Yeah, let him go, mate. We're probably going to make a move, look for some bigger fish soon.
Oh, That was easy done.
Well done, mate. That's awesome.
I reckon we pull them in, mate, make a shift and see if we can find this bigger fish.
I think so. While they're going, that is.
Yeah.
Yep, let's do it. Oh, Carter. What are we going to do, mate?
Well, mate, I think we go home, we'll call it quits for the day. We've had the best bite period, which was in the afternoon.
Yep.
Wind's now gone in the southeast. We did have a souwesterly,
Yep.
and the fish really bit well.
They did. They went nuts. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Yep. Just not confident now with this wind change, mate.
No, but you'll find, later in December, the
Yep.
southeasterlies will be very good once that water temperature comes up.
Yep.
So, but it's been a great day.
Oh, mate, I've had a great time. Thanks for that. And
Yep.
it's a pity that the wind had to change. And as Carter said, let's wait for December for those easterlies, and hopefully we can get a few more fish.
Yeah.
One question I would like to ask you boys is, it was funny, Warren was mentioning before, next week the fish will be going at lunchtime.
Yeah, that's right. I've always found, well, I'll start back at the start of October. Before the water's actually 17 degrees, the fish will only feed when the barometer's really high and just peaks. And then you'll always find that the bite period will be best before, just on daylight. And then as the season unfolds around tea tree, you'll have the morning and the afternoon.
Yep.
They'll fish equally as good.
Yep.
And then we're looking around the 3rd to 4th week of November, you'll find the afternoons will outfish the mornings.
Yep.
And then once we move into December, you'll find the bite period will be between 11 and 3.
Yeah, it's quite amazing, mate. The those midday bites, isn't it? You get your charters and they say, I might go and fish in the middle of the day. And you go, that's the best time.
Best time.
Well, the fact is, it's the last week of November, and they did go in the afternoon, just like you said. And you found that every single year, eh?
Every year.
Yeah, there's a good pattern there. And I mean, look, if you work hard, you are going to get fish all day. But Carter's talking about
Playing the percentages.
the bites, like the bite that we had.
Hot bites.
Hot bite.
When they're going crazy.
Yeah.
And then you've got the barometer and all those factors that play in. You'll find on northerlies the fish will be a lot more touchier.
Definitely.
Whereas the southwesterly, your hookup rates are going to be good and high.
Yep.
Well, I'd just like to fire a couple of questions into you boys. What we got? Just not every day we get the gurus. Would it be fair to say you get 3,000 snapper each between you every year? Would that be about the right number?
Look, it's hard to say.
It's hard to say, mate. Look, I'd probably average somewhere between 1,500 and 2,000 fish on charter a year. And that's going every single day, twice a day, sometimes 3 times a day.
For your customers?
For the customers. And mind you, this year it's probably dropped a fair bit because of the new bag limits.
Yes.
Having, not being able to keep fish over 50.
Yeah, that's right.
Now it's over 40. You're getting your bag really quick, which is a great thing. It's saved a lot of fish, so it's good.
That's also the other thing too. Don't like to, once we've got our bag, we don't like to keep catching fish because it does hurt the fish.
Yeah, it does. It does hurt them and it spooks them too.
Yeah, it's just better off to go home and come back the next day.
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
Couple more questions for you. I'm going to ask you this. Favourite hook?
Gamakatsus,
What size?
5/0.
You?
Gamagatus, 5/0s.
Favourite leader?
Genkai, 60 pound,
Black Magic, 60.
Yeah. Braid or mono?
mono.
Mono every day.
Yes. Okay. Absolute favourite depth in Port Phillip Bay?
For consistency, 21 metres, and for big fish, I'd be looking between 8 and 12.
Yourself, Matt?
Same.
Exactly the same.
Yep.
Surprise, surprise.
Bait.
Yeah, bait is probably the most important. Your favourite, give me your favourite 3 baits, Warren, in order of big fish.
Squid and cooter, fresh cooter, and then followed up with silver whiting.
Really?
Yeah, look, I'm a big silver whiting man. Obviously, I'm running a charter boat. I'm after numbers, but if I'm chasing a big fish, you can't go past a cooter.
Yep. We use any bait enhancers, fellas, or is it just bait fishing for you guys mainly?
Just bait fishing.
Just bait.
Yeah.
No.
All right. One very, very important question I have to ask before we go. How many big fish and what is your big fish in Port Phillip Bay, mate?
My biggest is 9.5, coming 10 metres off Seaford, and at a fishing tea tree in 12 metres off Chelsea, it was 8.8.
And that was the winning fish, I believe.
That was the winning fish in 2001.
Winning weighed fish in 2001. And your biggest fish, Mr. Sini?
11.1 kilo, and yeah, it was a good fish, and the fish come on a silver whiting, and that was off the artificial reef, believe it or not. It's probably one of the only times I've fished that spot on the roughest day, very rough day. 23 fish, and I wasn't going to put the last bait out, and I did, and I got that fish on the last bait. So there you go.
No, it's
How-
a nice mount too. I've seen the trophy.
Yeah.
Beautiful fish, mate.
All right, Warren, who is the best charter operator in the business on Port Phillip Bay?
At the moment, Matt Sini.
Matt?
That's only because I'm in business, mate. This guy here, he's actually, I've got to shake your hand, mate, because he has taught me a lot. He's taught me a lot.
I think.
And you never stop learning, and I owe this guy a lot, so he's a good bloke.
Well, I'm sure everyone listening would be fascinated listening to you blokes, and it was an honour to come and watch both of you do what you do. We're sure we didn't get a kick of fish today, but really it didn't matter. We saw action and a hot bite, Port Phillip style, and it was just fun to be part of it. Well done, guys. Thank you very much.
No worries.
No worries, guys. Go out and catch them yourselves.
That's it.
Rising barometer, light southwesterly, mate. Feels pretty good, doesn't it?
Mate, those sort of weather conditions, 20 fish day every time.
Really?
Especially
And that's coming from a bloke that's done a couple of 100,000 hours in Port Phillip Bay, both as a private reco and pro charter operator. I tell you what we're doing now is we're sounding a snapper, because the key to catching snapper is actually finding them. There's no point in fishing where the fish ain't. And what we're doing now is we're relying on the electronics to hunt up what we call fish arches, or reflections or echoes from the sonar pulse. And we've turned the boat, we're running with the wind, so the boat is as stable a platform as it can be. Nothing worse than having the transducer doing this and shooting its sonar all over the place. By running with the sea, we keep a nice steady sonar, and we can actually mark up some quality marks. In a minute, hopefully we can show you what we're looking for. And what are we looking for exactly, mate?
Mate, ideally, want that one single mark to be within a metre of the bottom, just off the bottom, and in the shape of a half tick. Now, different sounders are going to show that differently, so you do need to know your own unit.
Yeah, we're using the Lawrence, not sponsored or anything like that. Let's just clear that up. We just like the Lawrence, and what we look for here is usually just a big tick or an upside down boomerang close to the bottom. Now we've got some bait coming through. Now we just got to see a mark.
If we can get a mark underneath that, that is the perfect scenario. Almost like that.
Almost, yeah.
So just keep moving along, and we just get a bigger mark on the bottom.
So we're just covering ground. We're looking for a grazing fish. When he says he wants to see one mark, he doesn't want to see lots of fish out. Okay. When you get arches clustered up together, it can be good. But Warren's style, I know as a charter operator, is to fish the open mud, the open ground. He doesn't look for structure. He looks for individual fish like cattle grazing in a paddock. And that's why it's better to find one mark near the bottom, isn't it?
That's right, mate.
So that's all we're doing. It's very, very simple. As soon as we find one, we're going to show you exactly what they look like. And we're prepared to do this for 2 hours if need be. We started at Moynton, we might end up at Frankston by the time we find the fish. It's not normally the case, but if that's what it takes, that's what it takes.
You know, there are days when you can come out here on the bay and you can be sounding, not get a single mark. If you know there's fish in that area, sometimes it pays just to drop. You can lose a lot of time sounding around.
But we're looking for a mark today.
We're looking for a mark. You know, conditions are good. You've got that light southwesterly, rising barometer.
It's going to go nuts. I hope so. It's been a long time since I've been out in Port Phillip Bay. I've spent so many years now in Western Port. I grew up out on Port Phillip, but in recent years I've moved over to Western Port and been chasing the bigger snapper. We're specifically really expecting school snapper here today, and hot action at that. But over there in Big Red Country, it's a whole different world. And I'm actually excited to come out with you, mate. It's going to be fun.
Yeah.
You've been telling me how hot it's going to be.
Port Phillip Bay is one of those bays where you're going to come out and you're going to catch numbers of fish, you know. And that's what was good from a charter point of view. You come out here and get people 3 fish each, you know. Western Port, you're really going to work hard for your fish, and most of the time the fish are going to be a lot bigger.
And here's a new one. These boys, and Zach on his birthday is going to work the rods today. We're going to fish bait. Warren and Dad are going to do the old bait style, and I'm going to see if I can go head to head on the soft plastic lures. That's right.
What's that?
Soft plastic.
You're going to fish soft plastics?
Yeah, you know it. And I made a vow last year not to come out here and fish bait ever again, and I'm not gonna. I'm just going to fish me little squidgies and see how I go. And in a minute, after we've shown you what they look like, we're going to run through the tackle that we use in an estuary like this where there's very little current, both plastic rods and bait rods. So we're just going to keep on looking. Now, there we go. As you can see, we've got a perfectly shaped mark right on the bottom, inside the bottom metre. That is a snapper mark. And it's even better that it's all alone and not stacked up with other fish. That means, Warren, it's grazing.
That's right, mate.
It's a
He's
feeding
got his head
snapper.
down and he's feeding.
And we don't need to see any more. In Port Phillip Bay, from Warren's years of charter experience, the fishing out here, that's all we need to see in it, mate.
That's all we need, mate.
Big fat tick on the bottom. I tell you what, if you turn around, mate, are you happy with that, surely? Yeah. Big single tick on the bottom. We're going to go up current, probably about 50 metres. From where we saw the mark. That's right, mate. Tell me when and I'll drop the pick, mate. So we've already seen what a Port Phillip Bay hot bite looks like, courtesy of Matt Zini's technique, which largely involves fishing close to structure. This time we're out doing it Warren Carter style, and that's to look for feeding fish on open ground. The good news is the sound indicates there are fish in the area and the weather conditions are perfect, so hopefully we can experience some fast action and even better, some bigger fish.
Okay, just going to show you a very basic bait presentation for school snapper here in Port Phillip Bay. In my hand I have a silver whiting, a scad, red rocket and a garfish. They're of good size for school snapper. I'll just show you how to present the silver whiting, and all the other baits follow suit. Just taking the 5/0 Gamakatsu, putting the hook inside along the gill cage there and rolling the hook out through the eye. Then taking the keeper hook and running that parallel to the fish, not coming out the other side, and then just rolling that back and exposing as much of that hook as possible, then putting a half hitch over the tail. Now that is a very basic bait presentation for Port Phillip Bay school snapper. Later on we'll show you more advanced techniques for presenting baits to big red.
First set of rods, like he said, has gone off. Good sign, isn't it?
Nice. Medium size snapper.
Small beginnings, mate. Small beginnings. Good boy.
Who's that? Here you go, Zach, you grab that one, mate.
Good line.
Feel like a big fish, mate? Does it? I'm guessing it's only about 1.5 kilo, mate. Maybe 2. So it's not what we class as big fish, it's good table fish.
The ideal Port Phillip snapper outfit comprises of a 7.5 foot medium action composite rod armed with a reel that holds a couple hundred metres of 15 pound mono line. The overhead reel Zach is using today is his dad's Shimano Calcutta from his charter days, but a size 4 to 6,000 thread line would have been more than adequate for the school snapper. They are the choice of most Port Phillip fishers these days. Nice fish. Biggest fish so far. Soon I just have a snapper. Oops, yep, come on. How about that? Recording. Oh. I was just about to say, I can't get the plastic where the fish are. There you go, hook up live on film. Not a big fish. But it's a snapper, isn't it, Zachy? There we go. It's fun. You know, I'm going to spend a whole season doing this.
You know, with bag limits with only 3 fish, I reckon
Does this one go?
the challenge is Do it all on plackies.
Do it on plackies?
Yeah.
Alright. It's another end of a beautiful lure. It's a problem with the snapper. Even the little ones just rip them up. Such powerful jaws. Off you go, little man. Woohoo! He's swimming down. See you later. Big red! Melbourne style.
The lure's nearly as big as the fish.
They're gutsy, aren't they? Have a look at that. That is so cute. Now that makes you think there might be structure in the area, doesn't it? When you see that.
Yeah.
Well, Carter was spot on, and the fish were going really well. And after an hour of fast action, I started to accept the fact it was going to be a pinky kind of day. Then Zach hooked onto something slightly bigger. Was this a sign there may be some bigger fish about after all? Well done, mate.
Now this is a Port Phillip Bay snapper.
We've got a triple hook up. Triple hook up on plastic.
Hang on, got another rod about to go.
I've got one on a plastic. Warren's got a big snapper on.
Yeah, big
And the
one,
birthday
yeah.
boy is hooked up too. This is what it's all about. This is fun. This goes to show the plastics can match it with the bait, boys, doesn't it?
Good to mix it up.
That's a good fish, Carter.
Oh yeah.
That's
That's
a 5.
It's going to be a 5 kilo fish.
Lift him in, son. That's careful with me rod. Well done, that's a good fish. That's 3 kilos. Hold up for the camera, buddy. I'll hold the rod for you. Pick him up. There you go. Show the camera. Just pick him up. That's it, buddy. Show the camera. Beautiful job, young man. Happy birthday. Is this a good birthday present from Dad?
Yeah.
Yeah, good on you, mate. Alright, I've got to get mine in.
3 rods.
Happy birthday. It's only a little one, but Wazza has a real snapper on, don't you, mate?
It's a good fish this way.
Is it? We were just talking about it. It could happen any minute.
I think we had the 3 hookups and we had another rod go as well.
But
It's what can happen, you know, when you get the fish going.
I've got
Worry
some
about
bad
that
news
line,
for you.
man.
Bad news for you. No
that?
net.
No net?
No net.
Yeah, we can put him back if we have to.
That'll test you. You've got to get him in the boat, then you can put him back. Alright? We don't need him. We can put this as a prime breeder, mate. We've got a feed.
We have. He's dogging under the boat.
That's a sign of a quality snapper.
Typical of a good quality snapper. That's right, Ringer.
Talk about the rod and reel.
Mate. We're using a Shimano Elite backbone. Here we go, we've got colour here.
Oh! Carsky. Cars. You want to do the squid technique? You can lift him. Can we lift him
I could lift him, but just
get back
grab the
on.
other rod. Take the other rod out of the holder. Well, just hold it and... There we go.
Oh, it's getting heavy. Quick, grab it off me before I lose 2
There's at
fingers.
least 5 kilos there, mate.
Oh, easy. That's a snapper. Oh, it's off plastic. The gulp's just gone straight down the water. It's come back up. There's fish everywhere here, guys. That's a big red. And then someone's trying to ring us saying, Warren, where are the fish,
Where are the
mate?
fish going?
Can I book a charter?
Now you know why I don't answer the phone sometimes. Too busy.
That's a knobby too.
Yeah.
Beautiful fish. Hold him up, present him properly. Look at his tail.
Yeah.
He's
And
a
you know,
survivor.
he went pretty hard for his stubborn tail. It's a great fish. Port Phillip Bay.
Yeah, beautiful fish, mate. He'd be 5.5 kilos every day.
Beautiful.
What's going on?
What are we going to do? We're going to put him... Oh, you've got another rod going, have you?
Yes.
The one that's in your hand. Oh, there's another rod going. You got that one, Zach, and I'm going to let this fish go because we've already got a feed. So, just come over here.
The action continued on for many more hours that day, and Warren had done his job well, and delivered Zach a top birthday present along the way. Father and son. The frozen baits were working great, and the plastics were going just as well. But that wasn't a surprise to me. I figured out their potential long ago. In this next chapter, we will take you back a couple of seasons to a late after work session where my Port Phillip soft plastic journey started to gain some serious momentum. So I thought I'd check the plackies on. Would you believe first cast, I hooked up a red on the soft plastic, and I'm talking about a snapper. I couldn't believe it. Marked them up on the sand with some big arches. I thought, we can get a plastic down onto their nose, it's going to go bang, and I couldn't believe it. It just went, didn't it, mate? Unbelievable. This is actually a snapper on a lure in Port Phillip Bay. Look at the line that's taken off. Just watch this little Stella reel work its guts out. We're talking about brim gear here. Custom made graphite rod, with the Stella 2500. 4-pound braid, 12-pound leader. A little 1/4 ounce jig head, Darton jig. Oh, there's the tip of the leader. Come on. Don't want to put too much load on it. It's a very light line. Might just make that drag off a bit now, I think. It's just jig on the bottom. Jig. Picked it up like a flatty. Put some load on him. Beautiful fish. Getting a bit tighter now. I'll call the colour in, mate.
Yeah, mate.
This little rod's testing me out, I tell you. Get that rod down. Right in, 11 metres of water straight off Mount Eliza. Marked up some marks on the edge of a drop off. God, I'm not a soft plastic fisherman. If I can come out and do this, virtually on my first ever soft plastic strip in Port Phillip Bay for snapper, anyone can do it. And we're talking about a quality fish here. Seriously. It's amazing. Jeez, it's a good fish. I can't believe this. Come on, just gently does it. He's just slammed it. Oh, that's it, mate. Come on. It's a pity we didn't have the camera rolling for the hookup. When he took the plastic, did he hammer? We really didn't expect to get on the action this quick. My mate Nab was just dying to get a rod in the water. But I tell you what, mate, they're on the sounder. We'll just go back there and have another crack. Oh, I saw a little bit of colour. I can't put too much load on here. I've only got 4 kilo line. Oh yeah, got colour. Oh, ho, ho! Have a look at this. That's special. That is special. Have a look at this. I ain't no sort of plastic fisherman, but I tell you what, I'm gonna be. Look at that. That's 5 kilos nearly. That'll be high 4s. That's fantastic. Unbelievable. Have a look in the mouth. Solid hooker. There's the only plastic it's had in the boat. The other day I got a beautiful fish, a little bit smaller than this, in Westernport, with a squidgy 150mm drop bear. What a beautiful fish. Tell you what, why would you use bait when you can catch that? Have a look close up at that beautiful head, mate. I tell you what, I feel like I'm on fire. I've had a fantastic season catching my bait. The challenge was to come out and do it on the plastic. The first drift, on the sounder, bang, we've done it. Well done, mate. Shake my hand, will you? Well done, mate.
Well done, mate.
Get that plastic out of him. Look, that's too big a fish to eat for me.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got plenty of little fish at home from the other night. Wow. Let's see if we can get him going. Here we go. High 4s, maybe even 5. Let's get us swimming. Yes! Yes! Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! Oh, that's awesome. Tell you what, I'm flabbergasted. I'm a changed man. I'm a soft plastic fisherman from now on, I think. That was just awesome. Let's get back into it, mate. Let's get back into it.